We with part 4, and who we back with again?
Shantelia.
Shantelia. That's a crazy name. Where you got that name from?
That's a crazy, interesting story.
Yeah.
So, has anyone ever heard of the Elvis Presley song, like Chantilly Lace and whatever?
I never heard of it.
Yeah, neither have I until people started singing it, and then it started registering. And when I started working at Leopold's Ice Cream, that's when I actually heard the song. I'm like, hey, that's about me.
Yeah.
And then I asked my mom about that. She's like, no, that's not where we actually got the name, because my mom is the one that actually came up with my name.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. She was listening to John, I think it's John Key or something like that.
Yeah.
And he has this gospel raspy voice. So she's listening. Singer? Yeah, he is a gospel singer.
Okay.
And my mom was listening to it, and as he's saying these names, this name like dings in her head. She's like, that's the name I want my child to be.
Chantilly.
Yeah, she wants
a C or S?
A S.
Okay.
So it has 10 letters in my name, but I go by Tilly for short.
Okay.
That's how most people call me.
If you Google Shantelia, do like meaning pop up, like.
I want to say yes. No, not really. I did have Spanish 1 when I was in high school. It meant Selena in Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got to talk about today, Shantelia.
Okay, so like I know on part 3 we talked about October 14th and how he was like this abusive person.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yes, the ex-boyfriend. And so, when I would talk to people last year when we were still dating, on part 4, I would ask them, instead of like trying to talk crap about our relationship, it was more like trying to get advice as to like how to talk to him, so it doesn't seem like I'm like trying to like pressure him into talking about something that he doesn't want to talk about, or make it come off like I'm being like just telling him what to do and whatnot.
Who you was going to for the advice?
Friends, cause
friends of y'all or
friends of his, and cause like they knew him better than I did. It's like, okay.
You think they would be one-sided or neutral, or they'll be like? I mean, I guess you trust them for you.
Right. Cause I'm like, yeah, like they known him longer than I have, so it's like, who am I to say why is he being like this? And it's like, ew. But it was more to that story that I wasn't aware of. I had to talk to his best friend and be like, hey, am I saying it wrong? Because clearly when y'all say it makes perfect sense. But when I say it, it's always like, shut up and like, leave me alone. Like, don't talk to me and all that type of stuff. And so that's just, our relationship was like a roller coaster.
You think whenever he said like, be quiet, shut up, whenever you try to talk to him, you think he just felt like he was too right? Like, man, I'd rather just stop what she's saying because like, she's going to catch me in my trap. Like, she's going to
basically, yeah. I even talked to his ex-girlfriend, and she went through the same cycle as I did.
You told him that you talked to his ex-girlfriend or no?
Not at first. I think she probably told him before I did.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was trying to give me advice, but it looks like she was trying to push us, like, separate. Yeah, like, pretty much separate us. Because he was talking to her, she was talking to him, and she didn't respect our relationship.
How you got his ex-girlfriend number, though?
Well,
Facebook or something?
You could say that, or you can say, like, I did my own
research?
Investigation, like, kind of like got his phone while he was sleeping or when he wasn't around. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Because you're supposed to trust the person that you're with, but sometimes it's not always that easy.
But you went in his phone, though.
I know.
That's not trust, is it?
No, but it's like, you would think, okay, let me just check. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find anything. I'm being stupid. And then most women are right. They always find that red flag, and it's like, you're not supposed to find it, because then you end up getting hurt. But then it's like, you would hope the person that's supposed to love and care about you tell you instead of you just poking in their business. It's like,
So when females go on the guy phone, do you think they look at it like, I hope I don't find anything? Or they look at it like,
or
whenever I go on my boyfriend / man husband phone, I hope I do find something so I can let him know about himself. It's like similar to getting pulled over by the
I
police.
see what you're getting at. Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Because it's like they want to find something on you so that way,
Correct.
If they get caught, you can get caught as well.
Yeah.
But us women either are very good at hiding it or we're not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
They just want to think they know something.
But was you hoping that you didn't find anything?
Yeah, basically.
You didn't really find that. You say you just been looking for a number, right?
Well, yeah, I was looking for the ex-girlfriend's number because I know he was talking to her a lot. Was
it text messages or recent calls?
There were text messages. There were phone calls. One time she called him and he answered the phone in front of me. And then after that, he was secretly talking to her, and it was a lot longer than 30 seconds.
So what the conversation was about when he picked up the phone in front of you and started talking to his ex-girlfriend?
Basically, it was him flirting with her while we were in bed together.
Yeah.
And I'm watching TV or I was on my phone or eating something, and I'm just like, in my mind, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's supposed to be us time, but you're on the phone with your ex-girlfriend.
Was he being, like, quiet and, like, whispering on the phone or no?
No, he had her on speaker and everything. He was trying to get a threesome going and stuff. I'm like, that's your ex-girlfriend. Like, I'm not. So, I was not into that at all.
So why you think he thought you was comfortable with such?
Well, considering because he knows her, which is why he thought it was okay, but she basically threw him under the bus and told me stuff that I wasn't even aware of, or I kind of had a feeling that he was doing the same thing to me.
Like what?
Like he's a moocher.
Moocher?
Yeah, I haven't seen one dime of the money that I gave him that he promised he would pay back, but then when we get in arguments, he's like, I'm not paying you a dime. I'm not paying you anything. I don't owe you anything.
So with his ex-girlfriend, he did the same thing. Never gave her money. He just lived off her.
He basically owes her his life.
Yeah.
Basically, because she was pretty much taking care of her kids on top of another child, which would be October 14th.
Yeah. How long she was with him?
Gosh.
You been with him longer?
I think
relationship lasts longer?
I want to say theirs. I don't know how long they've been together, but I know they did end in like April, around that time.
Yeah.
And we met in June of last year.
Yeah. You think he was abusive with her or no?
Oh yeah.
She told you about that or not?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what are some things she discussed with you?
She would throw him under the bus. She would actually put his business out, and he would manipulate the situation into thinking like you're doing something behind my back. So it's pretty much him in his mind. He's trying to do damage control.
To both of y'all, or?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
But she saw right through that, and it's like, now I see what she's talking about. Because when he's trying to push her buttons and she doesn't flip, then he wants to take it up a notch and see how crazy she can go, just like he did to me.
Push buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when is it hard for you to notice for a female if they getting beat on? Can you look at a female and be like, hey, I got beat on before, and I see that same look in your eyes of you?
Right.
Or not really.
Not at the time, unless they actually really show it, or when they pull that person they actually trust aside and be like, hey, this happened to me, or this has been happening to me, or I know him from somewhere. It's that's the person that abused me.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people go through being a prisoner in their own home.
That's crazy. Or
in someone else's home, and people tell you these things, and it's but then it's you loved him, and you see all these good qualities. That's why it's you're excusing the bad and just weighing it out on the good, and be like, I still love him. So why not just stay?
Like you searching for all the pros.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, far as in him, like I know you said he did drugs, nothing, crack and stuff. You think he did it with her? Like you think he did drugs around her too?
I want to say yeah. I don't think it was crack he probably did around her. I'm pretty sure it was probably like meth and weed he did around her, but crack.
What's the difference doing it around somebody?
Depending
doing
on
crack around someone compared to doing meth around someone.
Right.
What's the difference?
Well, it depends on how your body handles that drug.
Yeah.
I've seen people do crack and they have never acted the way October 14th would act around me.
Yeah.
They act normal, they act pretty chill and calm, but it's also like they get schizo a little bit, schizophrenia. Okay. So it's like they think someone's behind them or there's a shadow and there's nothing there. It's just in your mind, basically.
I know this might sound crazy, but what are some pros talking to somebody that do drugs? What are some pros?
Some pros, you're actually up on your feet.
Are they more friendly or are they more like emotional?
Depends.
Yeah, just give me like some pros.
Pros, it makes you work harder. Like if you're feeling like really drowsy and sleepy, people usually will like smoke it or however, like shoot it up, snort it, you name it. All the above. It gets you high as I don't know what, but it actually keeps you like
motivated.
Yeah, motivated, keeps you working, and you're like up on your feet 24/7. So it's like you're actually getting stuff done that you haven't gotten done in a minute. It's like, okay, now I'm up wide awake. I can get this shit done, get it out of the way, and go on about my day.
So what are some pros you've seen in him though? Like
whenever he did do drugs, when we like were living by ourselves, moving forward to November towards December-ish, when we were staying on the west side and there was a contract that needed to be done and he was getting paid a lot of money for this job to get done.
Yeah.
That was the man I loved.
Because he was up and at it.
Yeah, and he was working. I was like, this is the man I want to see every day. This is the man I love, the working man, not the bullshit man all putting his hands on me and striking me because it's something I did or something I said that he didn't like.
But did you know that he was doing drugs before he went to work, or?
Yeah, cause that's how we met.
Okay.
Yeah, we met through not really a mutual friend, more like an associate. Of ours.
It's a female friend, eh?
Yeah, a female friend, which I was unaware of that they dated or whatever.
That's the friend that you was telling me that pushed you on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or she pushed him on to me, basically.
But she ain't want to deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's sketchy, man.
Yeah.
But you didn't know at all.
I did not know that. No
one whatsoever.
Falling in
love or lust, whatever.
It was more so the lust, but.
Whenever y'all started talking, how long before it took for y'all to have sex?
The first day we met.
First day.
Yeah, the first night.
That means you was really like in love with him, or he pushed it on you.
More so in love. It was more so like
loving the feeling.
Yeah, I in all honesty, I wasn't expecting anything, even though I probably should have known something was up if you're asking me to come over after work.
Yeah, with the shades and stuff on, right?
Yeah.
Shades in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I met him that night, he seemed sober as can be. Like, yeah.
That's how it works.
And it's like they put on this charm. Yeah, the narcissist put on a charm.
Love bombing.
Yeah, and they make you seem like they're so sweet and stuff. Like after like the first couple of days or first couple nights or so, then all of a sudden you're starting to live with them just unexpectedly, as I quote unquote. And all of a sudden you're not as important to him as you thought you were.
Could you consider that as a con? Do you consider that as a con? Like person just dismiss you after a few days? What are some of the cons that you go through dealing with a drug user?
Well,
If it's pros, it got to be con, yin and yang.
So, right.
Yeah.
Well, the cons are you could oversleep. If you have a job, you could oversleep by accident. Don't even realize that it's like late as I don't know what, because your alarm could be set and you couldn't even hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that you're supposed to be living with is supposed to wake you up if they hear that alarm.
But yeah.
For me, it was the complete opposite.
Like, yeah, just lose your job.
Yeah. Basically, if you don't catch up, doesn't matter how good of a worker you are, you're always replaceable.
Do you believe, like they said, birds of a feather flock together, or you think that's like something else? Or you think that's still like that?
I still think that's still. I haven't heard that saying in a minute, but I'm pretty sure.
They probably don't reword it some other way.
Yeah.
But does being around a person that, like a person that used drugs, do that encourage you, like, to use drugs? Like, hey, since this person's so happy, let me see. They might just encourage you.
Yeah.
Did you encourage yourself, or did they encourage you?
No one really encouraged me. It was almost like when you're back in high school, it's like peer pressure almost, but it wasn't really peer pressure. So it's like. Did
it came from him, or did it came from somebody else?
Well, it didn't really. So like basically, it didn't really start in Savannah. I had moved to Tampa, Florida for a couple months. And we'll call this person Puerto Rican / Cuban, okay. I would say. Yeah, he was
a boyfriend or friend?
He was an ex-boyfriend of mine. That's how my drug habit started.
In Florida.
Yeah. So
it was free, or
yeah, because it was coming from him, because
available all the time.
He did some stuff before he met me.
Yeah.
So that's when he had work in Florida, but the boss that he was supposed to be working for was unaware that I was coming. He thought I was going to visit like on the weekend or something.
Yeah.
So basically, it kind of took us back to square one. It's like, where we're going to stay. It's like, where we're going to live, like, and all that crap. Man. And I basically just quit both jobs and packed up everything, and like, I'm like, let's go. In my mind, I'm like and I
trusted the process.
Yeah, and I was back in my 20s. Yeah. So basically, actually, I was in my 30s. Gosh, yeah. I was like 31 at the time, and and I'm like, now looking back on it, I'm like, why the hell didn't I wait until I actually had a job before I said, okay, let's do this, or at least wait until I'm like financially stable.
He was in the moment.
And like
the moment.
It was a man. Everything. That's all I saw. A man. Right.
When people use drugs, do you think it's for like the happiness and pleasure, or you think it's for the dull the pain of the everyday life that a person goes through?
I want to say, it could be more so like an everyday life, like you're stressed out and you don't have anyone to talk to, but you're hoping that partner that you're with can like help you through this and relieve that stress. Sometimes they can see it. It depends on the person that you're dating at the time, but sometimes they'll miss it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm one of those people, like, sometimes I can see it, but sometimes I'll miss it, and they're like screaming for help, and it's like, I don't really feel like I'm listening, which is why I feel like people have to like actually have me sit there and like actually listen and look in their eyes, and it's like, wow.
It takes time.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, now you feel bad because like
man,
my girlfriend is supposed to be here supporting me, and yet she's not even hearing me out.
Yeah.
Vice versa, is like, if I was in that same boat and I'm trying to tell my boyfriend like, hey, this is what's going on with me, but he's not really hearing me. It's like, I have to yell it, but it's like, wait, if I yell it, then he's going to yell and no one's going to get their point across.
Shouting back.
Right. So then it's like, you have to calm down, take a moment to separate, and realize like, you know what? If I keep yelling, I'm never going to get anywhere with this person. So let me calmly explain to him how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling this way. Maybe he can actually